Ladies and gentlemen, is Last Day on Earth saved? Well, I don't know quite about that. However, some good recent changes have come down the pipeline. We're going to talk about a handful today. Some of this might be already over by the time. Some of you may not have this already, but I will say this is a good test. This is one of those where we're going to get some feedback, hopefully. We're going to see some positive changes going forward. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm not going to jump into... There was a post over on the Discord that basically talked about changes. Maybe I should bring it up at some point. Maybe in a future video we'll do that. But I want to talk about a couple of things. First and foremost, Commune is almost done here. And I can happily report that one of my favorite season events, which this was one, is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Is it where it was? Maybe not quite, but is it still very good? I do believe so. Let's talk about a couple of things here first. Essentially what ended up happening is the structure of this event did not change. You go in, you get 3 battles per day, you do your battles, bing, bang, boom. You usually have 5 days to do this event, so you can rack up some points. Typically, you can get 600 per day if you're doing the highest difficulty. If you drop some coinage, you can get a little bit more than that. And it's 25 coins for each of those, whether you want to get an additional round, so an additional 200 here if you want to jump in and knock that out. We've done ours today because this is about to end. You can get some additional support. You can make it a little bit harder. You can get a little boost here for 25. You can get the additional 100 actually. So it's actually, if you're going to ever spend coins, just pay the 25 to get the extra round if you can complete this right here. If you have a lot, you can do whatever you want. But 25 gets you an extra 200 instead of the additional 100 for that round. All that being said, these have changed up a bit. Let's talk about some of the changes. Personally, now that this is fixed, some of these changes are actually pretty good, in my opinion. I like to see some of these things here, which is some of the kind of newer, more advanced materials. We have our thick leather here. Obviously, we have some steel plates. The fact that you can grab some titanium here for literally a day's worth and grab 5 of them is pretty solid. If you don't have the ATV yet, and for whatever reason need ash planks, maybe for some drone upgrades or whatever the case may be, you can pick some up here. Obviously, there are some lower tier materials to pick up. Even just having woolen fabric and tan fur is not necessarily too bad. So if you're struggling with some of the northern region, now I do like that they added a lieutenant card here for 600. Is this the thing you should buy? No. However, if you have some spare points, you can grab this. Good for a couple of weapons over at Blackport PD. This is where it actually improved, sort of. Some things got a little bit more expensive. Some things got a little less expensive. ATV transmissions got more expensive. Now, here's my concern. You need all 5 days to do this in order to make sure that you can get this, which is a bit of a struggle. Okay, so do keep that in mind. If we anticipate this is like Headhunter, these will not roll over. This specialty currency, these little ribbons or whatever they are, will not roll over. Typically, we see Commune about 2 times a month on average. So just keep that in mind. This is still a good place to grab ATV transmission. If you do have a little bit of coinage, you can drop it there. Of course, you can come get propellers, which could be really helpful. You have your tack backpacks, which are also quite good. And then, of course, some other things that you can grab. I've always been a fan of the pups. I think that's really nice. The 2 or 3 or so big things that I would tell you to grab right now are pretty interesting. One, we have these biker magazines. Now, I don't know how these are going to work. These are very cheap at 200. We got in the roadmap a whole bunch of discussion about chopper updates. Don't know if these are going to work. Might be worth hedging a little bit and saving some of these because you might be able to get some fast experience. That being said, I wouldn't necessarily drop these on there, but if you don't have anything else to do, late game wise, grab these. The drone blueprint is back and I bought it already. It's 1200. That's a huge upgrade. That's 2 days, the highest level of difficulty. Very achievable. Titanium alloy being here, 2 of them for 600 points. I think is an absolute steal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolute steal. If you're coming to the commune, you need this. I'm telling you, grab this. Very rare resource. A lot goes into getting this. The fact that you can buy a couple of these, this will get changed if anything gets changed again, because that's huge. That's insane. You need it a lot for the upgrades for workbenches and different things from the island region. So make sure to grab that. The thing that most people will be super excited about is this right here, a extremely rare weapon mod blueprint for 600. Very achievable for pretty much any level that can come over here to do it. Melee weapons, even at the lowest levels, drop a couple of days in, should have no problem getting this. That's huge. This did get more expensive. I used to buy these. This is now up to 3,000. So again, a few changes I'm not super thrilled about. This and the ATV transmission being one of them. Everything else has relatively stayed okay. Some things have certainly gotten better. So I am happy. I'm at least content with this commune. I would like this to go back. I think this used to be 2,500. I'd like to see this go back, because if you're pouring it in every day, I do think you should be able to grab this, in my opinion, without dropping coins. It is very valuable. Don't get me wrong. It's like a super plus up to this. But this being for 600 and this being for 1,200, which is not what it used to be, is really, really nice. So very excited about that. Get yourself some titanium alloy. You will thank me later. Biker magazines. And again, pups are really, really good. Your attack backpack. Again, flight controllers, all your other good stuff here. So thank goodness for that. I really genuinely just love this event. I think it's pretty low stress. Bring some weapons. You knock some stuff out. Take care of it. It comes around often enough. You're going to be able to get some goodies out of it. So thank you, Kafir, devs, everybody that listened for some feedback to that. At least that event has been saved. Now, the thing that you have been waiting for me to talk about is this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new and improved season pass in the testing phase. But if you folks, very similar to the last one, if you weren't around or playing for the last one, what happened is they introduced the new pass, which included these updated crates, which we all have now. About half the populace got this for about 2 or so seasons. They got some feedback on it. They proceeded to move forward with it. A lot of good, a lot of bad feedback from the last one. I will say, right up front, huge improvement. Huge improvement over the last one. There's some good free-to-play stuff here, in my opinion. The crates are significantly better. If you're still buying or getting the premium pass, I still think it's a pretty solid value as well. So I think mostly everybody will be happy with this. Some folks may lose out on a few things, but I genuinely think this pass across the board is better than what we had. If it goes to this, okay, if it stays in this exact form, and usually there's 2 versions of this, by the way, so usually they swap out like some sets of armor, maybe a few guns and some stuff like that. If it stays like this, I do think this is an upgrade and a much needed one. Let's go through here really quick. One of the big things that we see, although this first crate isn't a good reflection of that, is a whole bunch of updated materials. A whole bunch, which is just desperately needed. All right, so the first crate here, look at this. This is crazy. Level 2 pups for your choice or coins. Solid. Happy with that. Thank you very much. Pups are great. These are hard pups to get, whether you're grabbing Rottweilers or your Corgis. You want to try to get your coins per day. Those are really nice. You see this crate, pretty good upgrade, I think. You still have your weapon, but you have some decent materials in both your lenses, your carbon, your steel. That one's pretty nice. This one is a big upgrade. Look at this. This is what, level 11? And you get the opportunity to not only get an anti-spore pistol, pass on this, grab this immediately. These weapons, armor-piercing Genesis weapons, are so difficult to get. To be able to have this quickly, granted, this is the pass that you have to purchase. To be able to grab that so early in the pass is phenomenal, in my opinion. So that's really, really nice here. This one's still kind of crap. These first couple free ones, I think, have not changed a ton. Still have some armor I don't care about. Crossbow's fine. You have your 2 weapon mod blueprints. You get up to level 20 here. This one I feel like was about the same, but some of these updated, I think. I don't recall this being 20 rubber. I don't recall this being 8 gun oil. Honestly, I could be misremembering though, but this one's fine. Always a good shotgun to have, some good weapons, some coins here. Then you get to this free one. This is where we start to see some nice upgrade to these. Previously, this was probably just a bunch of crap, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. At least now, carbon fiber, hugely helpful. Even for free to play, I know it's only 2. Somebody's gonna be like, it's only 2 of them, Doc. I know, man, but it's better that I could get this than some freaking bolts, okay? Just go with me here. This is an upgrade. If you're struggling in some of the other areas, either that be the northern region or over on the island region, getting some of, even just some of these is good. But if you are new or not, you should be grabbing carbon composite because it's absolutely awesome. So love to see that. Good crate here. I don't know that this one's necessarily a big upgrade. This one doesn't look like it's changed necessarily, but at least we get one decent upgrade. Machete is good. This is good. The paid pass, you're getting some other decent stuff, but I don't think most of that has changed. Here's your next paid one. I love this one, actually. I personally do. Weapon, coinage, factory parts, EC circuits, your copper, or manual earth drill. This just makes me feel like somebody actually took a step back and said, okay, what would be helpful for anybody that picks up the pass across pretty much any place they're at the game? If they're grinding the northern region, maybe they need some copper. If they're grinding the island region, maybe they need the drill. If they're just trying to get leveled up and before those things, maybe they grab the weapon, or they're doing some mods and need some factory parts, or they're late game, maybe you just need the coinage. All of that makes sense to me. I'm very happy with this for the most part. Obviously, some quantities of this stuff could be updated. I like to see like 10 here or whatever, but 13 is fine. All that I'm pretty happy with, and I like that upgrade. Genesis weapons is good. Pup here, another 2 weapon mods. Get another free crate here. Again, me personally, I think it's like, hey, we know you need this, you need that, or you need this, and everybody needs this. Or if you don't need any of that crap, you grab a katana, because who doesn't like to have katanas in their inventory? I'm happy with this upgrade. Again, I think it's kind of like a theme type crate. We're getting some themed crates, which makes sense. And again, it's really saying Northern Island, otherwise, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I will be happy to grab that on free to play. You get your M16, blah, blah, blah. You got your pickaxes. Again, I think these could move back if I had to make any other changes. Level 40 crate here, very solid. And again, you're seeing some updates to some of the refined materials. 3 titanium alloy. I will be taking this immediately when I get this pass, if we'll make it to level 40 this season, but I will be grabbing this immediately. This is a huge amount of resource reduction here, but the fact of, if you don't need that, you're not quite there yet. Again, carbon composite, you're doing the thing when you need some pumps. Landmines are great, honestly, if you're gonna go do your PD, so pretty happy with that. Other good stuff here. I think this is new, to be honest with you. Factory parts and copper, I don't recall these being free, so I'll take those. Those are pretty nice. Here's another good one. Level 44. Now, is this one the craziest one? No, I think this is probably the weakest. But again, you got a little bit of a themed crate here. Before you had like your leathers and stuff like that. Now you've got your heals. If you don't, you got your melee. You got a little pistol action. I'm good with this. If you're farming the northern region, the island region, anywhere else, makes perfect sense to me. So I like that. Some blue cards, cool. I think we were seeing those before. Some other good stuff. More weapon mod blueprints, some more weapons. Level 50 here. I like this one. Level 50, not unreasonable at all for anybody to get to. Boom, you got your EXBP. You got your puppies in your basket, which I do personally like. I think that's a great one. You got your equalizer. So happy to see that. That's a good crate. You're dragging off there at 51. 54. Pretty solid here. Fuel briquettes, not something you see very often, which is pretty cool. This can help for those that are doing a whole bunch of refining of materials. Very good fuel. If you don't need any of that, guess what? You got 10 fuel. This is great. Lots of fuel, lots and lots of fuel, which I'm happy to see. Plus some ash planks popping in there for you free-to-play players like myself on our other account. Got a scar here, which is pretty sick at 57. 59, ladies and gents. It's back. It is back. They listened. Thank you. So many weapon mod blueprints, and now the EXBP is back in free track. That's right. This new pass is such an upgrade, and just a callback, honestly, to how good the previous pass was. Here's another nice thing. You're grinding. If you're raiding C4, more fuel. Paid pass, of course, but you can really make some positive gains here. Red tickets is cool. Some of these are cool too if you're on your port lab grind. So that's pretty neat. You have plenty of options to get some good weapons. More fuel briquettes. I do like to see this. Everybody's burning stuff. You're making steel and titanium. Here's another good one. This is a free one too, isn't it? Personally, this is one of my favorite upgrades. We had leathers, we had wood, we had some other materials. Boom, you get high enough, you're hitting 64, which again is doable if you're decently far in the game, doing some of the quests, doing your dailies, doing some of the other stuff. Boom, you got your metals. I have titanium, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty awesome. Shotgun if you don't need it. Copper and steel, you can use all of this stuff, craft some weapons, do what you need to do. Some genomes here in the past, cool. Look at this. You're getting a protector at 67. So some Genesis weapons are finding their way in. This is the season to grind if you have this pass, ladies and gents. Get a two Rottweiler pups here on the paid pass. Get some doggo food, which I like to see. Level 70 here. Another chance at an EXBP, Scar, some genomes, titanium. I'm not mad at it. 71. This is a nice one too. This is a nice one. Personally, I'm not grabbing this, but if you were to take the Scorcher, the Scar, or the Equalizer out of this crate, you're probably pretty happy, depending on what you're doing. This is hard to make. I don't say hard, but this is a little bit expensive to make. Can't make these. Can't make these. Both of those are great ads. Happy with that. Even more fuel briquettes. I'm fine with this, ladies and gents. Some people are going to flame me. Don't. This is cool. 73 coins. Ladies and gentlemen, on a free-to-play pass, you can get coins. Now, granted, it's level 73. That's hard to get to. You gotta be playing. You gotta be grinding. If you're grinding, you're getting coins every season. Brilliant move. Or you're grabbing a very valuable dog in a level 3. Somebody tell me you don't want this. You know what I mean? Who doesn't want this crate free to play? Somebody's gonna say, well, I like it earlier in this. Yes, I agree with you. Earlier in the past would be better, but it wouldn't make, but it's here. It's yours for the taking. Level 74. This is another good one. I actually really like this one too. Thermite, Sporicide. This could be a little bit more. I like to see this be like 15 factory parts because it's pretty high. And then 12 here, springs. That's not great either. But some decent stuff otherwise. I like the Sporicide and the Thermite additions here. I would bump these numbers up personally as well. Such a high level crate. You'd expect these to be like maybe 15 across the board. But I understand this is a little bit rare. So is this. So whatever the case may be. But I'm still happy at that as a free crate, which is really nice. That's pretty cool. Get some armor here. You got your Dragonov and your Dragonov blueprint. You got some genomes here at 78. And then the final two crates here. This one's pretty cool. VSS grenade launcher. That's neat. 70 coins or some genomes. Pretty sweet. And then you got level 80 here, which of course is your ATV transmission, your drone blueprint, Dragonov. I don't know why the propeller is still here. Seems really odd. But if you are working towards the boat, I guess that makes some sense. I don't know why they'd put it up that high. Like, who's taking this over this? I don't know. That's just me and my saying. And then, of course, you have the free reward, which is just the rotation cycle of crates that you have available for you. So that's the video here today. I want to know your thoughts. If you have this pass, I hope you're grinding it. If you don't, be patient. Hopefully it doesn't take 2 seasons. Hopefully we just go to 1. This is the time, give some feedback. And I do think that recent changes to Commune, opportunities for this pass, are some really good steps in the right direction. Some of the other events still need some work. Anomaly season didn't really go over super great. Got some other cool stuff on its way though, hopefully with the roadmap. Hopefully we can see some more updates here. We've been pretty persistent with like minor steps, little updates, certain events. So hopefully we can still keep seeing some of that as the year closes out. And then we're on the way to an update to the swamp, which should be pretty cool. A little apprehensive about. Talk about that. talked about that previously, but we'll share some other thoughts here in the future. So I want to share the news, give my thoughts. Let me know what you think of the pass. Again, if you didn't get it, just be patient for the season. I understand this is nowhere near the current pass. Current pass like pales in comparison to this one. Even if you're just purely on the free track, I do think this is a pretty major upgrade. So I'm happy with this. I hope a few other positive tweaks get made if they were to listen to any more feedback. But other than this, even just this being back, and the fact that we can get this, where was it? This, the puppies one, and the coins. It's just so good. That's just such a step in the right direction. I'm so happy for that. So get out there, grind your season, get your commune done if you have not already. We'll be back with lots more Last Day on Earth this week. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good YouTube things. We're still on the way to 10K. Lots of new folks over to the Discord. Links in the description. If you want to join us over there, we'd love to chat with you, keep things rocking and rolling. We've been super, super busy, but the Discord is a poppin'. Thanks for all the comments down below, and just thanks for all the support on the videos. Catch you next one. Peace.